going to, because we both grew up with strict parents. So I seen, is like when you're growing up, how did you approach your parents to ask them for permission? Because that's the hardest thing when you're a kid. Like as a kid and you have strict parents, is going to ask them permission for stuff. Yeah. Like to go out or to go to a party or to go to a friend's house, you know, to go anywhere. It's one of the hardest things when you grow up in a strict household. So how did you approach it?
Oh, like let me paint a scenario into the life of you know, my African parent, you know, and I'm sure other parents, but mostly, you know, other African kids can probably relate to this.
Asians can relate.
I'm sure Asians can relate to
it. They be on that. Asians, all Asians, so including Indians, because some people don't know India is Asian, but including Indians, those are some of the strictest parents I've known, like when kids I grew up with. Some of the strictest parents have been Africans and Asians. Including Indians.
So I was invited to this birthday party. I think I was in maybe 9th grade. So I was actually surprised by my parents were like, yeah, you can go. I was like, oh shit, all right. I'm out. I'm gone. So I was there. I was having fun. I was having a ton of fun. You know, it was my first time, you know, it was first time being in a party that was not supervised by adults. I mean, I'm not saying anything crazy was going on, but it was just fun.
Well,
everybody
was though. Probably was. Like you just weren't participating.
I was. I was.
That's what you should say. There's a lot of shit going on all the parties.
I don't know, so I can speak what I don't know about. But I was there. I was having fun. You know, with my best friend at the time, and he made a suggestion. Why don't you sleep over? And I was like, you know what? That's not a bad idea. Let me call my mom to see if I can sleep over. So I called my mom, and because I know that she was strict, I'm like, you talk to her. You talk to her. Maybe she can ease up. You know, you know, maybe she would ease up. So he talked to her. And, you know, she's like, all right, put Nick on the phone. So she's like, I'm like, oh, Nick. So do you wanna stay over? I'm like, yes. She said it in the most calmest tone.
You gonna get your ass beat when you
ever. Like, she's like, you want to stay over? It's like, yeah. It's like, okay. The next 20 seconds of my life was straight up yelling through the phone. Like, it was like, you want to sleep over? You are all the way in another country. What is your family gonna say? What are they gonna say about me? I brought you all the way down here to get you killed, all that stuff. I'm like, yo, what the hell? Like, if your mom, if your parent or mom or dad are telling you stuff like that as a child, feel embarrassed. When it's on house, man. Well, when it's on a tone where everybody can hear, it's even worse, you know, because everybody was sleeping over. You were the only one that couldn't sleep over. I mean, I was pissed off. I was mad, you know. I didn't get a beating or nothing like that, but I got a lot of scolding. Like, you know, like I got a lot of what would your family, your families think for, like, you know, my extended family, like, you know, what if something happened to you, like, you know, at that point I didn't know if it was fear or actually protection, you know, because I was a teenager then. I was, you know, trying to explore. But yeah, my parents were very strict. I couldn't even ask them for, you know, a little bit of allowance because I knew what the answer was going to be. Like, you know, I couldn't ask him, like, you know, to even stay out late because I knew what the answer was going to be. Days that I stay out late, that I tried to rebel, I got my ass beat for that. You know, so like, you know, and sometimes it's not even like, you know, when you come home, it could be when you are sleeping in the middle of the night, you're getting an ass beat.
Worst ass whooping I ever got was coming out the shower, bro.
like that, yo, that's the thing though. Like, there is no. You can look back on it now and laugh, but at the time, yo,
at the time that was not funny, yo. That was not funny.
I bet
that was not funny.
But so that's my experience, man. That's my experience.
Yeah, now for me, it was always like going to ask. It would be like, let's say you got to go ask them. Like, so your friends are like, yo, we about to go here. Go ask your parents. So I'd be like the last one. You know what I mean? To go ask. Everybody standing behind the door. They're like, yo, we're gonna wait out here. Go ask. So the times that I, you get yeses, but the times that I did get no, how embarrassing it is to open your front door and go to your friends and be like, yo, I can't go.
I can't go, yeah.
Just that right there.
Yeah,
be like, yo, are you serious? Everybody's going. Just tell them everybody's going. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've been in those situations where like you open the door, it's like, yo, I can't go. I gotta stay home, man. Yeah. I'm gonna stay home because now I came back home. I gotta stay home now. I should just went. You know what I mean? But yeah, you get those kind of scenarios. Or let's say, you're like in your room and your friends hit you. You're like, oh, let's go do something. And now you got to walk to the living room. Your parents are sitting there watching TV.
Yep.
And you slowly walk over there like, you stand behind the wall. I remember I used to stand behind the wall or behind their door.
Yeah.
And be like, all right, I'm going to go ask in like 3, 2, 1. About to open the door. I'm like, nah. I'm like, nah, not yet. I'm not ready yet. You know what I mean? And then I'll just do like 3, 2, 1 in my head like 10 times before I actually get the courage to open the door.
Yep.
And then I'll go ask and shit. And then I'll stand there looking like a sad little puppy and shit. So they can let me go do whatever I'm asking to do. But in a way, like now, it helps you like when you're older. It's kind of like, it's a lot easier because now when you ask anybody anything, it's like, it is what it is. Like fear you used to have back in the day.
Nah.
Like you grow up and you have no fear of asking anybody anything just because you went through that.
You went through that, yeah. Like the most, like growing up, the most time like I actually got yeses was when they had friends over. So like they couldn't like, they didn't want to really show their faces,
word.
So I knew I could always get away with that. Like not every time, but
I used to do that too because then it'll be like, especially if you have aunts that fuck with you, aunts or uncles that were over. When you ask, you be like, oh yeah, yo, can I go in? And they say they want to say no, but then your aunts or uncle be like, why can't he go?
Yep.
They'll be like, all right, go ahead.
Yep.
Gonna whoop your ass later, but go ahead though. But nah, I had that. Yeah, I used to take you.
I used to take advantage of that.
That's the thing too. Like you learn to take when you were in a strict household like that. It's like you learn to take advantage, and in some way you get a little sneaky with shit.
You get sneaky with your
shit.
You
have to be sneaky with shit because of how strict it is. I think like some of the like kids that are most sneakiest is when their household is the strictest. Because you gotta learn you do shit because you can't.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You get sneaky with it. But yeah, man, those were times, man. That was that was tough, bro. I used to get my ass beat when I was a kid, yo. I mean, looking back now, I was like, that shower one was probably the worst one. that one hurt. Imagine slipping and sliding everywhere and you getting your ass beat and shit.
Yeah. It's, you know what I mean? I don't think it's a sight that I would like to remember because like I got beat. I really got beat. Like and I was storming. I was like a rebel when I was growing up. But when you get to that point where you got strict parents and you're growing up, and maybe they've not really realized that you're growing up, but they still want to instill that fear. They still want to instill that authority. I'm the one running this house. And for the most part, it's not bad. But I feel like the older you get, like once you're like 15, 16, 17, you start to realize that they apply, but we could do it other ways. We could have gone through this, other
ways to go about it. Yeah,
because you don't have to be strict all the time. Like you don't have to be like I got to realize that yes. There's some time I deserve to get my ass beat.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, but there's sometimes I'm like, an explanation would have been better than getting my ass beat.
Yeah, no, for sure though.
Yeah. So
there's other ways to teach the same lesson. That's what some parents, you can't tell people how to treat, raise their kids. But for what I would do, because I don't want to tell people what to do. But what I would do in certain situations is, you could teach the same exact lesson without having to beat the shit out of you. The shit out of you.
You don't even know. You don't even learn anything. You just gotta ass whip it.
You just be mad as hell. Like I don't want your lesson. I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, because you already beat my ass. So what the hell am I gonna listen to you after for? Yeah.
Nah.
Or listen, whip your ass and tell you what they want to tell you.
And it'd be like that with street parents' ass.
Yeah,
They'll whip that ass
Whip
first.
that ass
They
and
try to
then
explain.
Try to explain shit to you. Like, I whooped your ass because of this. Yeah, I don't care. At that point, yeah, I'll give a shit.
I know.
I'll give a shit.
I know.
But yeah, nah, that was times, man. That was times when I was younger, man. It was just walking up and asking for something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at times too, like when I wasn't allowed to go anywhere, I used to do this thing where I would sit in the living room with them. Act bored as hell, yo.
Okay.
I just act bored as hell, and I would sit right on the couch looking bored, looking sad. Then it'll be like, all right, just go, just go. You know what I mean?
Like,
you find your own ways as kids.
When he came to like, because they're saying things like, when I grew up, like I would do like for example, if my dad was home, and I knew I can't just go out like that, I'll make his bed, I'll do the dishes. Then I would just ask him. Like, then he sees, oh, you did that? All right.
Oh, yeah.
I got away with that. With my dad, with my mom, it was.
Yeah.
He was like, that was like, you were supposed to do that anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that, I got away with that with my dad growing up. There was days like, there was a time like I even cleaned the dishes, and my dad was like, oh, Nick, clean the dishes. There's a huge fried fish for you or some shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that's why you gotta do shit though.
Yeah, like that's when you gotta do something.
You learn
like,
as a kid. You learn.
So like I learned my parents like their what I could do to get away, you know, from certain things.
Yeah,
like my mom she was steel, man. She nothing was passing her.
Give a fuck.
Yeah, it's not nothing was passing her. With my dad, I learned even gradually, like. With my mom, but she was the one, man. She was the enforcer.
Yeah.
She was.
Same here, yo. Same here. I used to get away with more with my dad than my mom. Big time. But you know, like that's just part of growing up, though. You know,
yeah,
like
you learn,
and then you know, you as a kid, you just get away with certain shit, and sometimes they catch you. It's almost like cops and robbers and shit. Like you do certain shit. Hoping you don't get caught. Just don't do it too many times.
So having strict parents, did that teach you how to be sneaky now that you're grown? No.
Nah, now you're grown, you don't need to be sneaky, bro.
Okay. But
because it's on your own shit. Like back then, it's you're asking somebody for permission. You know what I'm saying? Which made it different than, you know, just like now I just do it. You know, I could do whatever I want now. I mean, you don't gotta ask somebody for permission. Did it help you in any way? The fact that you had to ask permission to go? Yeah, it helped me get over fear of having to ask anybody for anything.
Ask anybody for anything.
Like I can ask anybody for anything and it'll be no problem. Like I'm not afraid of of being rejected for anything. Just because it's like that as a child, I was shook. Like I was shook of asking for shit, because then it's like, damn, in your head as a kid, you already tell yourself they're gonna say no. And then when you get a yes, you're surprised all the time. Even no matter how many times you do it as a kid, you're always surprised, because it's like, damn, I definitely thought they were gonna say no. But then it's always you learn that all that can happen is they say no. Like that's simple. Like they say no, you might get upset because your friends could go somewhere without you. But you know that fear. You get over that. That's the one thing that I probably benefited from those situations, is the fear of getting over, being for rejection. You know what I'm saying? That helped out big time, because now it's like, man, you gotta go ask somebody. You gotta go ask your boss for a raise. Fuck it.
True.
What could happen?
True.
You know what I mean? They just say no.
Sure. I mean, for me, I think getting no's all the time made me a lot curious when I got that freedom. Like it was like I was like a freaking, I was like on a bender of like
a free bird, bro.
Yeah, like I felt like I was on it, but I came to find out that it was good, like, because it made me realize that you're not gonna get you don't expect a bunch of yeses,
all the time.
And don't also don't expect anybody to do anything for you, because you can do it yourself. Because I got to figure out how I can, do things on your own. Even if I wanted to go out, they said don't go out, I still find a ways to have fun. Even if I was salty for a little bit,
I
got over it. So if somebody told me no, I found another way to accomplish what I need to accomplish.
Most of the time too, like if you ask for something, you should like, as a kid too, be like, I always was like, all right, you said no this time, that means that tomorrow if I need something, I'm gonna ask again, and you can't say no twice.
I never even
gonna make
like
you
that.
feel even worse. I'll be like, yo, so really? And you just told me I couldn't do that yesterday, now I can't do this today either. You know what I mean? I say getting a back-to-back no was rare.
But like there was no
you learned that shit though as a kid, bro.
I never learned that because there was no negotiation.
There
was no like, oh,
you're gonna tell him no 2 days in a row.
Yeah, like I got those for weeks, bro.
Nah, son.
Like I got
freedom out here. I had some freedom out here. My parents were strict, but there was some freedom out here. Like I remember I used to have to like, yo, you're gonna read, sit at the dining table and read for like a couple hours before you could go outside.
But that's
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like
I
shit
don't.
like that.
That's
Or
not
we go
bad,
to the library every weekend.
Yeah.
And then you could go back home and then go out with your friends. and shit.
That I don't think.
And then my
that's
boys be
bad.
like, yo, what time you getting back? I'll be back at 5 when the library closes.
No, that's actually hindsight. That is not bad at all.
Yeah.
Because like there are probably kids out there that's playing from like freaking
Morning
10
to night.
a.m. to like night without finding some kind of reading a book or something like that.
And my boys used to find that shit funny as hell.
Yeah.
You finally back. Like we passed the front of the building and shit, and I'll get out before they even go park and shit. I'm gonna get off right here. My friends are here. Everybody's in the front of the building about to go play football. But that was some fun times, man. I wouldn't. I mean, we'll take it back, but that was when you super young. Like high school is different. I got to high school and shit, but that was like middle school time.
I was still getting those in high school, bro.
Oh, nah, I was getting a little bit more food, but I was always like, doing the sports thing, so I was always out here. Home late.
I got nose. That's why I feel like I went on a bender. Like when in college, I just was like, I have no adult. I'm doing me.
We was still like I was going to like the parties in Allentown. Remember I was telling you, even like in like middle school and shit, going to the parties at Jefferson Park and shit. Yeah. And then we start going to parties in Allentown. We would walk all the way to Allentown.
But
we do all that shit. They used to let me do that shit. You know
like I said,
that was high school though. It's different, and we're boys. You know what I mean, so it's different.
Yeah.
Having strict parents as a girl is a lot different. We should probably get somebody's perspective on that, but. Having I mean, you guys sisters and shit. For them, it was different than it was for you, right?
They probably got more nose than I did.
Exactly, because like you gotta be more protective of that.
Yeah, you gotta be more protective. Like, but I feel like girls learn to be more sneakier though.
They're better at it.
Like I feel like it's more sneakier. Like if you there used to be a lot of words like back in my old country, like pastors' daughters used to get pregnant.
That's a fact everywhere, bro. Anybody, well, I can't say everybody, but majority of people would agree that the more strict, like the strictest of households sometimes breed the worst of kids, like because it's you have held them, you have tried to basically chokehold their life. When they finally get that small step of freedom, they take a mile.
That's how I felt when I went to college. I saw like the freedom of like talking to girls, hanging out, eating out. I went in for at least 3 years.
Yeah.
But like, at some point, of course, it gets old. But
it does get.
But like
you still got to experience. Before you decide on whether you want to.
It was like kind of getting out of a mental jail. Like
that's what it is.
Like that's what it is. Like that.
That's really what it is.
But like I said, like it was good. It was good. I don't feel like kids growing up should get yes all the time. There has to be. It can't be too extreme with the yes. It can't be too extreme with the no. There has to be a moderation, But
not true.
It's Yeah, but no's. There should be a lot of no's, because like sometimes I see kids 8 o'clock riding their bikes. Like, and what is a kid at 8 o'clock riding your bike,
Depends
your
where you
bicycle, and there's cars going and you're doing wheelies?
Oh,
What
no,
if
no, no.
something
See, that's in the
happens,
city.
like,
In the city is different, but we where we grew up, it was. It's the buildings. It's a small community where there's not a lot of cars and shit, so it's like.
But I feel like it should apply to everybody. Like, what is your 80-year-old kid being outside, riding his bicycle
with his friends?
With his friends at
Why
8
not?
o'clock at night.
No,
80-year-old.
Not that late at
No,
night.
I see when I drive around. That's the reason why I'm saying that.
Well, I mean, people raise their kids different. I ain't gonna tell nobody how to raise their kids. Yeah, I do what I want. I mean, just make sure your kids are safe.
5 p.m. You're in the house at that age.
I say so. I was coming in the house I had to be in the house 7:30. 7:30 to eat.
Yeah.
To eat. Hold on, 7:30 to eat dinner.
Yeah,
and then if I got done quick enough, I always make sure I got done to go back outside.
to go back outside
for a little bit. Yeah.
Nah, but I
would always push. That's why I learned to push the time. I would be coming at I was supposed to be home at 7:30. I pushed it to like 7:40.
7:40.
Yeah,
okay.
And then I'll push it to like 7:45. They wouldn't say nothing. Push it to 7:50.
Keep pushing it.
They wouldn't say nothing. And then one day they'll say something. I go back down. Like I used to do that shit.
All right, you had a system.
No, you gotta, as a kid, that's what kids do. Though. You push the limit to see where you could go to.
Yeah.
And then once you know you reach the limit, it's like I can't be coming home at 7:50 when I'm supposed to be 7:30. It'll be 7:45. Maybe I'll step in and boom. Yeah, it could be like, yo, I was at the park. It took me a while to get back home, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, shit like that.
Like my curfew was weekdays. Like, when you had school, I was given 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock.
Jesus Christ, I'm
good.
I had to wait
4 o'clock because, like, but weekends. Nah, son. I think it's like some 6:30. Maybe I could push it to 7.
Oh, now you bugging.
No, like if you were like 7, 6, no, for 6, 7, 8, 9 years old.
Nah, you bugging.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way I was raised.
No, but I was playing where they could see me though, like most of the time. Like when I was 8, 9, like of course you play where they could see you. Is it? I really like grew up in like even Virginia where it was like apartments. Mm-hmm, so it was like all the neighborhood kids just all play together. So it was all hanging out. And where all the parents knew exactly where we was at. So like if somebody's parents could always see us. And that was the thing. Like somebody's parents would always see us no matter where we was at. But then when you grow older, you start walking to the park that's half hour away and shit like that. Like
I understand that. Like I was allowed to play with the kids on the block, but I was given a curfew. Like you have to come home at this time.
That's what I said. 7:30.
Like my time.
Quick to go back outside.
Nah, like when you came home, no. You didn't go back outside.
In the summer, it was easier.
Eat, take a shower, and go to bed.
Summer, you could look outside and be like, "Yo, the sun's still outside, so I'm done." And I wash my dishes. So I'm out.
Summers were lasted longer. Like of course, it was fun. It was at the end of the day. I had a healthy childhood, regardless of all the like. I feel like
it was alright.
Nah, I feel like I did. I feel like the reason why I got beat a lot is because I was a rebel. Like I wasn't.
I was on the rebel.
I never paid attention, or I was doing stupid kid shit.
I say sports definitely took me out of getting in more trouble.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
like the sports thing is a good thing. Put your children in something. I mean, anybody that has kids, put your kids in something so they're not just sitting at home bored and trying to plot on doing shit all day. Because
I think my childhood was definitely, but like the strict parents,
all right. I mean, let's switch it up.